This is the Gore N More podcast with your hosts TJ Bowser, Chad Chrisman, and Wes Payne.
The man behind the mask. I don't wanna be buried in a hellraiser in the thunder.
Possessor. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Gore N More podcast. This is your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me, as always, is your Dark Lord and Savior, Chad Chrisman.
What up, bitches?
And Wes, not Craven Payne.
Yo.
Mama.
So today is January 23rd, 2019, and we got a very strange one for you guys today. 1991's Popcorn. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about each other's weeks. Chad, what did you do this week, buddy?
This week I started doing a bunch of paperwork and background checks. I finally got a fucking job.
Woo!
Yeah.
Awesome.
And this is a complete 180 from what anyone, if people really knew me, that this is a 180 from what I'd expect. Yep, I'm getting a job in a medical marijuana place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
I know. It starts, and it's not the greatest pay. It's not what I was making at my last place, but it's a lot more than other places that were offering me jobs. And it went from a couple weeks ago, I had no job prospects, to me turning down so many jobs, not even returning phone calls because I've had so many job offers. It's
tough out there
with that
stuff.
Tough, but it's been fucking phenomenal the last couple weeks. I'm actually really, really happy. I really think I'm going to like this place.
Yeah, that is awesome news. Me, myself, I did what I always do, is just work. And the highlight of my week was getting banned off Deborah Voorhees' Facebook page. That was about the highlight of my week for a Kane Hodder discussion.
Let's talk about this before we get into this popcorn thing.
I just had this, this back and forth war with this guy on there who's a, Kane Hodder enthusiast, I would say, and God forbid we say anything that we don't like Kane Hodder as Jason, and I guess you're crucified apparently.
Yeah, they hate that when you say you don't like Kane Hodder as Jason.
Oh, I can't believe it. I mean, everyone's got their own opinion on stuff, and I appreciate it. I mean, he asked me, why I didn't like him as Jason, and I gave him 3-4 examples. It wasn't good enough for him. The kid got mad and was pissed off. Next thing you know, I'm banned off the forum for, I don't know, I guess my hate of Kane Hodder. I don't hate the guy, but I just don't like him as Jason. That's all. Not a big story, but yeah, some people get their panties in a bunch and their vagina starts bleeding. So, what are you going to do?
I like Kane Hodder, but I don't get pissed off because I know that there's other Jasons out there, and I know that each of them are special in their own right.
Exactly.
Right.
And they all brought a different
there are I told them there's some things that I do like about him, but as far as just his overall, and I was trying to explain to the guy, as far as his overall look, standing still, I just don't like his look. I just feel he's too big, he's too muscular for play. Jason's not supposed to look like a power lifter, that he was just got off the runway posing with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I just feel like he's too bulky.
I hate the Freddy versus Jason.
I'm pretty sure Freddy versus Jason director thought the same, and that was the reason why he didn't direct him in the first place. And the kid was just, he just got mad. So I was like, oh, okay, well. And then he sent me this private message about, how I'm a shitbag and this and that. I'm like, wow, okay, dude. It was really funny, but I got a good laugh at it. But yeah, that was the highlight of my week.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Freddy versus Jason portrayal.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I feel like
either.
he's too tall and lanky.
He is, and I like the movie in general, but yeah. I hated the look of Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, he looks like that's what I don't get. Like they denied Hodder for the part.
But honestly, that probably would have made the movie
Robert
better.
Englund, yet they go get a guy that's even more giant than Hodder.
I feel like
and did you know the reason why they picked this guy over Kane Hodder is because the director wanted a Jason with sad eyes. He wanted sad, sympathetic eyes. That's why they went with
I think Jason is pathetic in that movie. He's waddling around like he doesn't know what to do in water. I mean, he was living in water prior to that.
Yeah, was that Derek Mears that did that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't... He's not terrible, but I don't think that was the right direction for Jason.
I
Well,
would like
here's
to
a
see
little fun
Kane.
fact I saw on Wikipedia, and I didn't even mention this to this kid is that actually, I think I told you guys that C.J. Graham was his agent had called him for the to audition for Freddy vs. Jason, and his agent I think told him that good chance he could get it, and because Graham is friends with Hodder, he felt bad for him and didn't want to take the part. So he just refused the audition. I don't think CJ Graham gives two shits about playing Jason, to be honest with you. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure he could play it probably more than, I just think he could have got the part over Hodder or the other guy, but he didn't want to hurt Hodder's feelings. It's on Wikipedia. I couldn't believe when I read it. And I think that's a shame, too, because he would have played it
portrayal of
awesome.
Jason is the most well-known version of Jason, honestly. Like, everyone knows, like, part 6.
I don't know. It's a toss.
Yeah,
up
that's right.
But it's a toss up between 6 and 7 because when a lot of people think of Jason, they think of the zombified, chopped up Part 7 Jason with half a mask. That seems to be the most popular one.
That used to, when I was a kid, that was my favorite Jason. Even though I'm saying I don't really care for Kane Hodder, but that look that Jason look that he had in 7, I did like just because the costume was so nice.
They did do a good job of it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the costumes from then on, like 80 looks like the Swamp Thing. He looks like a Toxic Avenger. I mean, it's just like, okay, so. But that's a discussion for a whole nother thing. We'll get into that when we get,
Yeah, we're talking about a movie that we're not even reviewing.
yeah. We'll get into that. We'll cross that bridge when we
Oh, you guys are going to love those episodes.
That is going to be a blast. That is going to be fantastic.
Oh, it is. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait to delve into them. But
We got to do the hood rats before we get to the porn stars.
Not how I would put it, but all right.
We're making our way. We might bring out some big guns
I mean,
sooner than earlier. Sooner than later. So I got Eric Freeman from Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, which we reviewed last 2 weeks ago. Sent me a little package, and it involved a 11 by 17 autographed poster, and it says Garbage Day and Ricky.
It is so cool. It is so cool. It's
that's
sitting right here.
awesome.
I have unreleased script pages from a different version of the script, and he sent me a little personal New Year's Eve card, and he said you'll see me in December. And then he put in the little bottom, punish.
Oh, did he? Oh,
You didn't tell me that part. That's great. That is awesome.
That is great.
We gotta try. We gotta try and get him on for like an interview.
Oh,
or something.
for sure.
That'd be so cool.
That would be cool. We're gonna have to force him to say Garbage Day, though. You know that.
Gore N More in that voice.
Yeah.
Gore N More.
Gore N More.
Oh my god, that would be our new intro. That would be priceless.
Right? Oh, that'd be perfect. See, eventually, what I want our intro to be is just a bunch of different celebrities just saying Gore N More over and over again.
Like radio stations do.
Yeah.
This is Mick Jagger 99.9, like that.
Yep.
Oh shit, we can get Feldman to do that.
Yeah. This is Corey Feldman, and you're listening to Gore N More.
Oh shit, yeah, that'd be
You
great.
could. Oh, that
Fucking
would be really cool.
Feld Dog coming to Steel City Con. I am pumped for that.
Right? Oh, he's gonna get my part 4.
Did we have him yell Goonies, though?
I mean, I like him in Lost Boys too.
Oh, he's great.
I love
Lost
that
Boys is a classic movie. I hope we get into that one, too. I love that.
Oh, we will.
Feldman's classic in everything. Like even Bordello of Blood, he was
The
awesome.
Burbs?
The Burbs, yeah. Oh,
The Burbs, yeah.
I love
that's a
that
good
movie.
one.
Technically, we can do it on here, right?
Yeah, it counts.
Okay,
It's a black comedy / horror. We could do the Burbs.
That means
easily.
we get Carrie Fisher on a fucking horror movie. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so excited about that now.
Awesome.
But anyway, I got that. I got everything framed up, getting ready to put that up here soon. I just got The Fog on Blu-ray and Friday 13th Killer Cut, the 2009
The
remake.
original Fog or the remake?
The original, the John Carpenter one.
Yes.
Yeah, the remake I heard I didn't watch.
Oh, it's
but I heard
ass.
I
it was bad.
hated the remake.
It is
I heard it
complete
was really
ass.
bad. Yeah.
I am so glad I only rented it on DVD and did not pay to see it in theaters. That was one of if not the worst remakes ever.
I heard that. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but
Don't see it. Don't.
I wouldn't look forward to
It's
watching
an hour and
it.
a half of your life you will never get back.
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, we'll sit there and watch the 45 minutes of Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 over and over again, knowing it's trash. but we just love it so
fun
much.
trash.
It is
Eric
fun.
Freeman makes that so
It does.
fucking
He
fun.
really does.
That guy is awesome.
I absolutely love that movie. See, I think that's my girlfriend asked me the other day. I think she asked me, "Why did you get the movie if it's only 45 minutes long?" And I was just like, "It's fucking the greatest thing ever." Like I
It's
understand.
not about that, right?
It's not about that. It's about that fucking $100,000 fucking 45-minute thing. That's
It's a shitty movie that knows it's a shitty movie and just has fun with it.
yep.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, our movie today is Popcorn from 1991. It is an American comedy horror film. Is this the first comedy one we've done? Yes. Directed by Mark Harrier.
No, Silent Night.
Is that what
Deadly
they're calling it, a comedy? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It had some good one-liners.
And the Ted Bundy
did.
Award
I
goes
don't know if
to...
it's kind of creepy to be a comedy.
Kiss me, dick. Guess you're what? That was my favorite line.
Film and directed by Mark Harrier and written by Alan Ormsby. Produced by... Not even going to do that one name. Well, nope. Howard Hurst, Torben Johnke, Sophie Hurst, and Bob Clark. Written by Matthew Smith and Todd Hackett. Starring Jill, Chad
Sholin.
Tom Villard, D. Wallace Stone, Derek Rydell, Elliot Hurst, Kelly Jo Minter, Malcolm
Denaire.
Ray Walston, Tony Roberts. Music by Paul Zaza. And we'll get to that. Cinematography by Ronnie Taylor. Honestly, the version that we watched, I feel like if we could actually get a fucking decent version of the film, we would enjoy the cinematography more, but we'll get into that later.
I think so too, and
Yeah.
I think you'd see the special effects come out more. You can't really. They look so bad because of they don't look bad. It's just they look funny because of the quality. Yeah.
What I thought was funny about this movie is it takes place in like 3 locations and that's it. Maybe 4 because it shows the main character, her home with her mom, a classroom for like 5 minutes, the movie theater for like 90 of the minutes of the movie, and then there's like 2 minutes at the one character Toby's apartment. So there wasn't even a huge amount of short shooting locations in this movie.
No, I don't think they put much money in.
No, they didn't seem to.
It is edited by Stan Cole, distributed by Studio 3 Corporation. It was released February 1st, 1991. It's about 97 minutes long, and its box office was 4.2 mil. What was the budget, Mr. Chad?
That I don't know, but this movie tanked at the box office. But it gained a huge.
I
cult
remember
following.
as a kid it coming out, and like I told you guys before, I think the trailer is what sold people, and I was excited to see it when I was a kid, but yeah, I was pretty sure it wasn't going to do very good even back then.
Even the distributors didn't really sell it right, and a lot of the theaters I saw, the first run theaters didn't even bother picking up. They didn't want it, so I went to like the dollar matinee places, things like that. That's why it really didn't make a whole lot of money, but it did become really insanely popular once it hit video.
It's crazy too because it's got one of the most famous movie posters.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool movie poster. I think so.
Yeah.
It's like they put a lot of effort into the poster. Yeah.
Yeah, a buddy of mine had that hanging up in his bedroom when we were kids. It
Oh,
was
I
awesome.
love that poster. It's great. Yeah, it's really cool looking. If I ever see it at a Comic-Con or something like that, I would buy it in a second.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see what else do we got here. You guys want to listen to the trailer?
Yeah, let's play that trailer.
Sure. Love the trailer. Let's hear it. Okay.
It's coming.
Okay.
Before the horror of Halloween. Before the fear of Friday the 13th. Before the evil of A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Before them all, there was... Now, 15 years later, he's back.
Oh, yes.
There's something happening here that I've been looking for all of my life.
There's smoke. Someone takes her hand. She's running. The same man comes towards her.
I'm in a dream.
I remember. I remember the whole thing. Stop!
Are you ready?
Popcorn. Buy a bag. Go home in a box. Rated R. Starts February 1st at theaters everywhere.
What a slogan.
What a great fucking tagline.
It is. It's one of the best, isn't it? They put a lot of effort into that part of it.
So the little plot rundown here, we'll switch off. So I'll go first. College film student and aspiring film writer Maggie Butler, played by Jill,
Sholin.
has been having reoccurring dreams of a young girl named Sarah who's caught in a fire and being chased by a strange man who's trying to kill her. She records what she remembers on an audio tape and plans on making the story into a film. Maggie lives with her mother, Susan D. Wallace Stone, who has been receiving strange demonic prank calls recently on her way to class. Her boyfriend, Mark, played by Derek Rydell, embraces her and tries to get her to go to his place. Maggie shuns his advances and explaining that she can't be distracting from her script. Chad?
The university's new fledgling film department is somewhat saved when classmate Toby D'Amato has an idea to put an all-night horror-thon to raise funds. They set up shop in the defunct Dreamland Theater, an old live theater and cinema that is to be razed in 3 weeks. Professor Davis, played by Tony Roberts, is concerned about the time constraints, but Toby has enlisted the help of we'll just call him Dr. M. That's what they called him in the movie. Dr. M, played by Ray Walston, an owner of a film memorabilia shop who has the appropriate gimmicks for the films chosen for the festival. There are 3 main films within a film here. Mosquito is a 3D film. The Attack of the Amazing Electrified Man was released with an accompanying shockoscope gimmick with electrical buzzers in the seats. And The Stench is a Japanese film released in Odorama. Take it, Wes.
As they go through Dr. Menang's, whatever, trunks of equipment, they find a short cult film called The Possessor that greatly resembles Maggie's dreams. Davis informs them that back in the 1960s, the film creator Leonard Gates went on to kill his own family on stage in the live final scene of the film before setting the theater on fire, trapping the audience inside. Maggie soon becomes obsessed with the film and trying to figure out why she has been dreaming about it. When she asks her mother if she had heard of Gates of Possessor, Suzanne becomes uncomfortable. She urges Maggie to quit the festival and wants them to go away together. After Maggie goes to bed, Suzanne receives another prank call from someone she believes to be Gates. He tells her to meet him at Dreamland so they can talk. What an idiot. She just picks up and goes there. Like, who would do that? And advises her to bring a gun. On the night of the festival, Maggie is working the box office when Mark arrives with another girl, Joy, who is Karen Witter. Later, a man buys a ticket and calls Maggie Cheryl before he walks away. Maggie chases after him and asks her classmate Tina, Freddie Marie Simpson, to watch the box office for her. Unable to find the man in the theater, Maggie goes up to the projection booth to tell Toby that she thinks she saw Gates. Toby decides to check the theater himself and leaves Maggie to run to the projection booth. Meanwhile, Mark has left his date to sneak up on Maggie to scare her, and Davis is busy preparing the giant mosquito model to fly across the theater from backstage that he operates with a remote control. Go ahead.
Once the mosquito is released above the audience, a figure is shown up in the catwalks above the professor with another remote control. Davis then notices that his controller is no longer working. Mosquito Model turns around and zooms back down the track to the professor, stabbing him in the chest with a giant stinger.
Absolutely ridiculous.
The scene cuts to a laboratory of sorts where a figure is seen making a mask of the dead professor's face. Meanwhile, Maggie's trying to explain the story of the Gates of Mark, and she thinks Gates is there when Toby comes back to the booth upset and accuses them of playing a joke on him by locking him out of the theater. The second film starts, and we see Bud Malcolm Denaire, who is wheelchair bound, preparing the seat shockers from a control panel above the audience. Maggie. Chad?
Maggie is then shown listening to her audio recordings. Wait, am I? Sorry, I lost my place. Yeah, Maggie is then shown.
No, Maggie makes her way back to the box office.
Maggie makes her way back to the box office to an annoyed Tina, who starts looking for Davis. She asks Bud if he has seen him, but he says he hasn't, and he's having trouble with the control panel. Maggie is then shown listening to her audio recordings when the tape is cut off with a message from Gates. As she tries to exit the box office, she opens the door on Mark, knocking him down. This poor guy gets his ass kicked twice. Knocking him down unknowingly.
That was bad.
And unknowingly smashing the recorder in the process. Maggie tries to prove to him that Gates is really there when she realizes she accidentally destroyed the tape. They go looking for Tina, who probably saw Gates while Maggie was away. Tina finds Davis securing the mosquito on the catwalk and goes up to meet him, where it is revealed that they've been having an affair.
Ooh.
Yeah. She is unaware that he's the killer.
Stuff.
Yeah, very juicy. She's unaware that he's the killer posing as the professor, and he strangles her with a rope. This should also point out that there's a really disgusting making out scene between them, and then she pulls away,
that part is nasty,
and she pulls away, and the mask is just ripping off his face. Mark and Maggie, the professor strangles her with a rope. Mark and Maggie find her shortly thereafter, but the killer manipulates her voice and body in the darkness like a puppet, and the fact that she's dead goes unnoticed. Shh, audience. Like, who's gonna fall for that? Okay, take it away, Wes.
Someone enters the control booth, who Bud thinks is Tina. He is then strapped into a makeshift electric chair that is set to go off when a series of lights comes on. Bud frantically tries to free himself as the light sequence begins. As he is electrocuted, the theater loses power. Meanwhile, Maggie and Mark continue searching the theater with the help of Cheryl, Kelly Jo Minter. Mark falls down the stairs, and Maggie leaves him and Cheryl while she finds her way to Bud, only to find him dead. As she approaches his body, he turns around, and it's Gates. Maggie screams and runs away, having flashbacks of the possession. It is then that she realizes that she is Sarah Gates, Lanyard, and it is her father, and Suzanne is not her mother, but her aunt who saved her from being killed so long ago. She runs into Toby and tells him everything she remembers, believing that Gates has returned for her. Go ahead.
She and Toby enter the basement to find the circuit breakers, and Toby falls, disappearing into the darkness. With only a flashlight, Maggie hears odd noises. She thinks she sees Davis and Tina, but runs into Gates. The power comes back on, and Maggie finds herself in the killer's lair. Strapped into the chair he uses to make facial masks of his victims, the killer is revealed to be Toby, who was badly burned as a child after attending the show of the Possessor.
Do it, Wes.
With his mother. Toby's mother was a member of Gates' film cult and was killed in the fire. Toby holds Maggie and Suzanne responsible for his injuries and the loss of his mother, and plans to exact his revenge on them by reenacting the final scene of
The Possessor
on stage that evening, only with the ending that Gates had originally intended. He then wheeled out Suzanne, who he has cast full body, pointing her gun.
I gotta laugh. That part was ridiculous. Go ahead. She just looks so awkward in that cast.
Meanwhile, Cheryl and Joni, Yvette Solar, tend to Mark's injuries as they are met with an upset Joy, who tells Mark she saw Maggie and Toby together and that they went back to Toby's place. Mark leaves to find them, and Joni realizes she is late for her odorama cue and goes to join Leon to activate the odor pellets during the third film. Leon leaves to go to the bathroom and is met by a mirror image of himself at the next urinal. After urinating on him, the doppelganger attacks Leon and locks him in one of the stalls and drops some type of material. We don't know what the hell it is.
It looks like, what did he drop in the toilet? Cyclone B?
I don't know what it was.
I mean, that's what
He tosses it in the fucking toilet and just walks away.
Yeah.
motherfucker drops Zyklon in the.
So he drops in the toilet and it creates a thick smoke, and Leon passes out. It never even explains if he's dead or not.
No,
That's the last you see him. You don't see him being wheeled into an ambulance. Nothing. You don't even see him at the end of the movie.
That was just a terrible kill.
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
was.
It says soon after Leon's.
There's an explosion from the stall. I don't remember that part. My kids must have distracted me. So anyhow, Toby returns to the booth dressed as Leon with the plan to stab Joni from behind, but spares her when she mentions her unrequited love for Toby. Shocked by this, Toby gets upset and storms out to continue setting up for the final scene of Possessor. I don't think upset is quite the right word that you want to use there. He threw a fucking tantrum.
Oh, his tantrums in this they're epic tantrums.
Wes, you want to finish it off?
Yep. Mark arrives at Toby's apartment to find that the landlord is evicting Toby. Toby's walls are plastered with articles concerning the incident, pictures of his facial reconstruction, and pictures of Maggie with scissors through her eyes. Psycho, realizing she is in real. Yeah, he pulled a what do you call that? Laces out. Anyways, he totally what is that?
Ray Finkel.
Realizing she is in real danger, Mark rushes back to the theater, but the front doors are locked. He scales the building, climbs through a window on the balcony level, and finds the final scene of The Possessor playing on stage. Maggie has been drugged and placed in a metal dress, so she has no mobility except for her head. She pleads to the audience to save her, but they believe this is all part of the show. Mark uses his belt on the mosquito track and zip lines like Batman onto the stage, causing the secured mosquito to unlatch and swing across the stage. The stinger stabs Toby in the chest, killing him. And man, he twitched a lot, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Mark, he was flopping like a fish for like a minute straight. Mark releases Maggie and Suzanne as the crowd erupts in applause.
Hell yeah. So
that was
interesting.
Yeah, that's just a crazy movie.
Yeah, there is really no accurate way to describe this movie other than crazy.
I'd like to know the budget. Well, I can't find it anywhere.
Production.
You can't find it, huh?
No, it's not in the notes here.
It's nowhere. If anyone knows the production amount for Popcorn from 1991, please tell us. But
that's funny. I'm not finding a budget here. That is so fucked up.
Popcorn was filmed. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, do you want to get on to Chad's behind the scenes in questions?
I'm going to go through a couple notes that I wrote during the movie, too. I said that it was the best tagline ever.
Yes.
Buy a bag, go home in a box. And I like it. Go ahead, Wes.
Go ahead. No, I always about it. They put a lot of effort into the kind of the marketing part of this movie. At least it seems like it.
Yeah, they did a real good job. And I another thing I liked was the cool 50s style logo at the beginning of the movie. Like it was like on some kind of soda machine kind of font.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was neat.
I said
Popcorn, the lettering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought at the beginning Mark seemed a little rapey.
Okay.
Did you pick up on that? He just like grabs her and
He's
makes out
no
with
glazer.
He's no glazer. He just grabs her and makes out with her. He's like, "Hey, you want to come back to my place?" She's like, "Oh God, no!" He's like, "Come on."
Are we gonna do
He's
that?
like, if you don't put out, I'm out of here.
Are we gonna pick the glazer of this movie?
What's that?
Is Mark the glazer of this movie? Is that what we're gonna say?
I would call him. Yes, I would call him a wannabe, a glazer in training.
At the beginning, he is, and then he's just like a total buffoon by the end of the movie.
I think we should do that for
kicked.
every episode. Is have a glazer in training.
That was terrible when he got his ass kicked. Yeah, I think every horror movie glazer. So we should give it like a 1 through 5 glazers. And Mark was, we should give it a 1.
How glazed is this guy?
How glazed is this man? Yes.
I thought Dr. M was a true showman. And I love that old theater. How great. Oh, you didn't play the song yet, TJ.
We'll play it at the end.
Okay. Saturday night at the movies over that really cool montage. Oh, that was great. Another thing that I didn't like, one thing I didn't like about it was when her mom went to the theater. And like all this supernatural shit just starts happening. Like the letters fly off the marquee and the ticket pops out and the door opens by itself.
And that didn't make any sense,
No.
right? Because he's
How the
not
hell-
supernatural.
Yeah, and that was another thing I read. It's like there was this supernatural element that seemed to be introduced and then just completely abandoned. It didn't make any sense.
No, yeah, I agree with you. It had nothing to do with Toby. It was just a regular dude. He had no supernatural powers. So how was that able to do that?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I hated that part. I always hated that part because it made no sense in the context of the movie.
It's like, you know what I feel like? It's like they came up with the idea and they didn't know what to do with it. They thought it was a good idea, but they couldn't. It seems to me like they wanted to use it so badly that they didn't care how they were going to use it. They just put it in there, even though it didn't make sense.
Right.
There was no nudity.
No, there wasn't.
You know what? You're right. And they should have at least shown Tina. I mean, come on now. I love when he puts on the. When he's. I love when Toby's like. I think he's great. Toby, who's also he's also in One Crazy Summer. If you remember him with.
That's what he was in.
Yes, he was the brother of Zed. Zed in One Crazy Summer.
I knew he was in something, but I couldn't remember.
They were supposedly twins and looked nothing alike. Remember? That's a classic movie.
That is.
But yeah, I love the part where Toby's rants in that movie. Or I think that actor. I don't know what his name. I forget his name in there. I thought he did a great job as playing Toby and just his like rants and how he would flip out. I thought it was awesome. You almost like felt bad for him.
Definitely. You definitely feel some sympathy for Toby.
Yeah, you felt really bad for him, like when he was telling her like about what happened and all this stuff. It was just horrible.
Yeah.
You feel really terrible for him.
And I really love the really bad acting in the little movies within a movie. Like they were intentionally bad. And there's a really bad.
Oh yeah,
Are all these movies real?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was wondering too.
No, they did it all for this. And they're that really, really shitty scene where the guy gets the mosquito sticks him in the head and sucks his blood out. It's a really, really bad special effect.
Actually, there is a gimmick called Odorama in the 1981 film called Polyester.
Oh no! They're all the gimmicks that they did. They've actually done in other movies. The gimmicks are real, but the movies aren't.
Oh, okay.
I like the part with the electric man where he's like, he talks to the doctor about they're gonna he's going to try that formula before he gets electrocuted. I love how right when he's sitting in the chair before they drop the hammer on him, he gives the doctor a wink. I just started laughing when I
just love when the doctor's talking about the injection and the guy's like, ain't those the red and white corpuscles in your blood? It's like
it's the perfect guy to play that part.
Oh, it was so cheesy.
I was saying I like that part with not to get off the subject really, but I forgot what I was saying. I kind of lost track. But I like the part where Toby was showing her all like the different faces, and he's going through all the things. He's like, and then with voice control, I'm Tina. The class combo. And he stretches her face across it. It's really good special effects. I mean, for the time.
I like when he puts his Toby face on. His ears are all flopping around like Dumbo.
Oh yeah, and he's like, and he flaps. Sorry, I'm out of character or something. He flaps it around.
It's so goofy.
He did a good job. He really did that guy.
Yeah, that guy was a really good character actor. But unfortunately, I looked this up. He died in 1994 of AIDS.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Wow, not long after that.
What, Toby died?
Yeah, Toby.
He was also in Heartbreak Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies especially back in the 80s. He was a great
character actor. He was always
I didn't know that guy died.
Yeah, I didn't know.
How did he die? AIDS?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. That's harsh.
He's from Hawaii.
He's from Hawaii. And did you see where he went to school? Where he went to college?
No.
Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Allegheny College.
Meatville?
Meadville.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Meatville. That explains AIDS then.
Whoa. Wow.
I was going to say, well, now I'm not shocked. Okay.
Meatville.
Meatville. Okay, all right. Cool.
I really like the really cool costumes that the people in the audience had too. But they had they had 3 weeks to put this show together. Where did everybody come up with Halloween costumes at the drop of a hat?
Yeah, the whole audience was everyone.
And they were really elaborate. The one guy had 2 heads and shit.
You know what
did
his
you guys
final
think
role
of-
was?
I got a question. What did you guys think of the? Don't you think overall that they should have done more with the kill scenes? Like, I don't think they were. First of all, I don't think they were bloody enough or scary enough. I thought they were kind of like a little bit too much cheese. Like, it was too much mosquito. Like, once they killed the one guy with it, they shouldn't have used it to kill Toby, or reverse. They should have killed Toby with it and used something else to kill the other guy. I thought it was over.
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
too
kind of
much.
weird. They used the same thing for two different kills.
That's what I mean. It didn't. It was silly, and
Yeah,
it's
it wasn't creative
couldn't think
enough
of any
there.
kill somebody. It
Yeah,
was
it's just like they just kind of threw that together at the last minute.
and the toilet thing. Like, the kills weren't that. I like this movie, but my complaint about probably one of the complaints I'd have is just the kills weren't. They weren't. To be honest, they weren't that cool. To tell you that, they weren't like weren't like, oh my god, that was awesome. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, he threw a fucking Zyklon B into a toilet and killed someone. When have you ever seen something like that? It just.
I agree.
It's like they couldn't think of it. Weird.
What else, Chad?
But
I thought Mark's date that he brought to this show was a total whore. I mean, she was good looking and all, but he gets up.
oh boy, she dropped him in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
didn't she?
he gets up and leaves for like 5 minutes. He comes back. He's like, "What the fuck's this dude doing in my seat?" She's like, "Oh, you were gone too long." He's like,
And
"Really?"
what a
Oh, that's
creepy
when he
guy
punched
that
him.
is.
Yeah, the
Face.
guy gets up
Get
and
up.
decks him.
Yeah. Nowadays, if you did that,
What
and
does
got
he
up and
say?
sat next to a random girl, the police would be waiting for you at the exit.
Yeah.
What did
yeah.
the guy say to him when he told him to get up?
Eat shit?
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Shit, asshole."
Yeah.
Typical '80s response. Eat
Yeah.
shit.
And then Mark's
asshole.
like, "What'd you say?" And the guy stands up and he's like a foot taller than him. I said, "Eat shit,
I
asshole."
thought it was Kane Hodder at first. I thought, there he is again. Art.
And one other thing that bothered me is how, and this is kind of cool. I said that Toby is the best mask maker ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they completely ripped off Darkman as far as the masks, because Darkman came out like a
Oh,
year
yeah.
before this.
Is
You're right,
Dark
that
Man
is
Liam
true.
Neeson?
Yes, that's Liam
Okay.
Neeson.
Okay.
That Darkman's a good movie. That was, well, at least when I saw it back then, I really, yeah.
Who did the Darkman franchise? What company?
Sam Raimi did the first movie. I think it was Dimension released them.
Oh, okay.
I think. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've seen them. But Sam Raimi did the
Yeah.
first one, and they didn't bring him back for the sequels.
Are we able to cover that? The Darkman franchise, or is that more like superhero type thing?
That's more superhero.
I would
type
say that's
thing.
more superhero,
Yeah.
don't you think?
So that's Matt stuff.
Yeah, that's Hall of Heroes stuff.
okay.
But it's borderline because Sam Raimi did it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of. I mean, at least with the makeup effects, the way Darkman looks, it's kind of horror.
Is that why he got hired from shitty Spider-Man movies?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. That's why he got Spider-Man, because of Darkman.
What did you guys think overall? Like, without the masks on, obviously, the burns and everything.
I thought that was very well done. That was a very
Oh,
nice,
yeah.
that was a
I
very
did
good
too.
makeup effect.
I bet you if we watch the Blu-ray, it's fucking looks amazing.
I'm telling you, the special effects for this time period are really good in this movie.
But
and-
if we see it on Blu-ray, will we see more of the mistakes? It's going to be in finer detail, so it might not look as good in full high definition.
You're right.
Yeah, he at least looks scary though. You know,
Yeah.
when
There was
he looked pretty frightening.
yeah, there was a couple good scares in the movie. I thought, as far as like that.
You know, it was really scary when he was talking in that voice, the professor voice, and all that. And when he had that long, when he entered the theater,
Yeah, that was
pretty-
good.
that was creepy looking.
And did you notice the scene where her mom goes into the theater and he bursts through the wall? What was with these big monster like arms
Yeah,
that he had?
why is his? He's got arms. He bust through and grab the mom.
Yeah, he looked like the fucking Incredible Hulk or something when he did
Yeah.
that.
I was wondering that too. The Incredible Hulk arms bust through and grab her. It made another thing that just it's again they didn't put enough time or thought into. Okay, I thought that was shitty how he went ahead and grabbed her. I just thought it was silly. It just looks. And then what was the thing that was walking? She shot and she shoots it. It falls down. Then all of a sudden he's on the other side of the theater and grabs her through the wall.
Yeah, it was another one of those weird kind of they're doing
Again,
some kind of
trying to make it
supernatural.
look supernatural, but he's
yeah.
really not.
Yeah, it was weird. It's like they didn't know what they were doing quite yet.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. It's like, okay, supernatural or not? No, he's a regular guy. Okay, then how is he on one side and then he's on another? It's
Yeah.
just
Another thing I thought
Maybe
funny
not.
was poor Mark gets his ass kicked by the guy in the theater. Then he goes up and she she hits him with the door. And he's like a total doofus. And then by the end of the movie, he's like freaking Batman. He's climbing up the freaking marquee
don't
of the movie
forget
theater.
Doberman tears his ass.
Yeah.
Whenever he comes in, he's like, "Oh, goddamn!" That guy got the shit kicked out of him.
There was a fence and a big Doberman. They should have showed that. That would have been great. But yeah, and then
why didn't they show that part? That would have been funny.
Yeah, because even Toby mentioned the fence and the Doberman. They should have showed that. And then
What'd you think of the part where the black chick, that I like that little sassy black chick? Where she
decks the guy. She's like, "Oh, I don't hit girls. You sure you don't hit girls?" Yeah. She's like, "Fine." Wham! Lays him out.
Great. He's like, "Get the hell out of here!"
Hey, she's been in a lot of movies, and she's like a total badass in everything.
Yeah, she looks like, was she in a different world or something? I know her. Was she in a show or something from back then? She looks familiar to me.
Something like that. Yeah, she was in one of those shows.
Yeah, she was pretty funny in that. That was great. I like when Toby's, when the girl, he's ready to kill her with the knife, which probably would have been the coolest kill of the movie that they didn't use. He's ready to kill her, and then she tells him that she likes him.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "I gotta get out of here." And his voice goes back to Toby. He runs out of the door.
Yeah, how did they not notice that he went to Toby?
He's ranting and raving about him. His life is now he can't make decisions or something.
Oh, it was so funny. He's just throwing shit around.
Oh yeah, his rants are great and shit. Yeah, I was talking to how he's like flipping out and how he was talking to the crowd. It's hilarious.
Okay, so you want me to do my behind the scenes stuff now?
Yes.
Okay, so the movie was shot in Jamaica. That's why they had all the reggae music in the movie, like at the beginning, and they had that reggae band. The movie's title, Popcorn, is actually linked to an element in the movie that was removed before the final cut. So there was like this whole, I don't know, something to do with popcorn that was removed from the movie. I don't know if we can find some deleted scenes, but and the main actress, Jill Sholin, was that what I said her name? Mm-hmm. She played Maggie. She actually replaced the original actress named Amy O'Neill. They were 3 weeks into shooting. They replaced her, and they actually replaced the original director too. Mm. So she actually had minimal interaction with the cast because most of her stuff was just reshoots, which is kind of weird. Yeah, you don't see a lot of that. Yeah.
Doesn't she remind you of Phoebe Cates from Drop Dead Fred?
A little.
Her look.
And this is one thing. She has black hair. You don't even see that anymore. Nobody in films or anything has black hair anymore. Like that really,
she's got
really
like a domination hair too.
Yeah. The movie flopped, but it gained a huge cult following afterwards. Tom Villard, who played Toby, I mentioned before, died of AIDS in 1994. The guy that played Mark, Derek Rydell, he actually did his own stunts doing the movie. So him scaling the building and doing the zip lining and everything, that was actually him.
That's cool as hell.
That is cool. But right after this, he quit acting because he had a near-death experience while snorkeling in Jamaica.
Wow.
Did you say about this, where this film was, that it was filmed in Jamaica?
Yeah, I did say it was filmed in Jamaica. The gimmicks that they use for the movies are inspired by gimmicks that William Castle used in his movies. The mosquito flying gimmick is similar to the one that they used for a ghost for House on Haunted Hill.
Okay.
The one for the Attack of the Amazing Electrified Man, they based that off of The Tingler.
The Tingler.
And
you sure it's not a porn movie?
That's the French tickler.
right.
And the stench, the odorama they used, is based on a movie he did called The Scent of Mystery. And a couple of interesting things I found out. I did some research. The two of the actors, Joel Schoen, Maggie, and Kelly Jo Minter, who played the badass chick that decked the guy.
Yeah.
They were both they both starred in films with Robert Englund in 1989. The girl who played Maggie was in Phantom of the Opera, and Kelly Jo Minter was in Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Chad's favorite movie.
Terrible Nightmare on Elm Street. Let me just say that.
We were discussing that before. That's my least favorite Nightmare on Elm Street.
That is, a New Nightmare is my worst one, but that one's...
I don't even count New Nightmare. That's not even a Freddy movie. That's a movie about making a Freddy movie.
Yeah, it just bothered me to call... Yeah. If you're going to go out throughout without leaving Nightmare out, that's easily the worst one. There's no doubt. It's terrible.
Yeah, and there was actually...
How stupid was that?
And
It's a boy!
and Freddy's makeup was the worst in the entire series in that movie.
Yeah,
It was
I
terrible.
like how the patches of skin were like the size of. They look like giant pepperonis attached to his head.
And he had it looked like they made his ears bigger or something and made them stick out more.
Yes,
He looked like a damn Ferengi off of Star Trek.
just awful. They should have just stopped the franchise at 4. Honestly, I mean 6 is the thing I like about we're not talking. Freddy's Dead. Everyone, a lot of people I know don't like it, but I liked how they explained the story a little bit, and there was some really funny shit in Freddy's Dead.
Yeah, and it gave
ridiculous shit.
It gave an origin to his powers and everything. Yeah, I agree. I don't understand why it's the most hated.
6 was decent, and of course, how could you not like 6 where he's like, "You forgot the power glove"? I mean, come on, it doesn't get any more ridiculous than that.
Okay, so a couple other things I added here, and then we'll be done with my notes. There's actually a lot of actors in this movie that were in other horror movies.
Okay.
D. Wallace Stone.
Yeah, I've heard
80s
that before.
horror mainstay. I mean, back in the 80s, you probably didn't see a horror movie without her in it. She was in The Howling. She was in this. She was in Critters. She
That's
was in
where I
Cujo.
saw her at.
Yeah, she was the mother in Cujo. even.
Cujo, awesome.
She's like the horror mom from the 80s. Like I said, Jill Scholen was in Phantom of the Opera. She was also in a movie called Curse 2, The Bite. That was about snakes or something, if I remember correctly. Kelly Jo Minter was in Nightmare on Elm Street 5. She was in Lost Boys. And she was in People Under the Stairs.
Wait, is she in Lost? Is she the star?
No.
Who was she in Lost Boys?
I don't remember her being in Lost Boys, but it said she was in it.
Huh. Maybe she had a real small
It's
She
not
must
listed
have.
on her list.
Yeah, but I don't remember her. Tony Roberts, the guy that played their professor or whatever, was in Amityville 3D. Derek Rydall was also in Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. And Ray Walston, the guy that played Dr. M.
She played Cynthia Strode. That lady played Cynthia Strode in Halloween.
Cynthia Strode in Halloween.
Also, what's the guy that came in
and
to
the
help him with the
2007
guy? What's his name?
Ray Walston.
He was also in Popeye. He was also in Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, he's most known, I think, for My Favorite Martian.
He's also Mr. Hand, I'm pretty sure, isn't he? In Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Mr. Hand.
I don't know, but he was in The Stand. That's his horror connection. He was in The Stand.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, I know. I'm just saying he's been in a lot of movies, stuff like that.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff while he was alive. I think he died a few years ago. didn't he?
When did he die? I was wondering if he's still alive.
Who knows? Google does.
He didn't die
Yeah,
at
Google
age
does.
2, did he?
No.
Okay.
Was she in that shitty Invisible Man remake?
That'd be weird if everybody from this movie died.
Oh wow, Ray Walston died in 2001, so he's been gone a long time.
He's been gone a while, yeah.
So,
Oh shit, I gotta do my questions then.
yeah, do your
Oh
questions.
crap, I gotta get to the right page. Okay, so our movie discussion. Your favorite kill, guys?
Electric chair.
Ugh. Yes, I was going to say that too. That is, like I told you before, to be honest with you, I didn't like any of the kills.
And when that yellow light turns on.
See, my favorite kill was actually Toby's death.
Oh, really?
I just love because of all the twitching. They really went over the top with his death.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he looked like the fish from the end of the Faith No More. The way he was flopping around. What nerves that guy had.
Oh, like Mike Patton recreated that when they did that song on Saturday Night Live. Do you remember that? Did you ever see the Faith No More?
No, he recreated
At the end of the song, he's laying on the fucking stage, flopping around like a dead fish.
Awesome.
I know that back then they had a big. Wasn't there an uproar about that song?
Yeah, because of that scene with the dying fish. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so favorite kill. What was the best scene for you guys?
Go ahead, TJ.
I don't know. You go and I'll tell you.
I like two scenes. I like the part where I told you where he was trying on the different masks, explaining to the characters. I thought that was hilarious. And then I like the part where he's doing the countdown when he's revving the audience up and he's doing the countdown. And
Oh my God, that was great.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene is whenever he's like fucking firing up the audience. I like that.
Yes, I love that. I thought it was great.
I think my favorite scene was his whole tantrum. Just because he's throwing shit and it's like, oh, I've got plans. This doesn't fit in with this.
He was I'm telling you, he like great character.
Okay, did the opening scene hook you in? The opening scene was her nightmare, so it really didn't.
Yeah,
it really didn't do much to.
No.
Yeah, it didn't
No.
really do much to hook you in. It didn't. It kind of disconnected from the movie.
It made my eyes hurt trying to see what was going on. More than.
Yeah, it was like that weird indie movie thing that people. I don't know.
It almost felt like I dropped acid for a minute.
Yeah. I think that's. I think that's how it's supposed
what
to
is going
feel.
on here?
Okay, so since there was no nudity in the movie, sadly, who was the hottest girl?
Tina.
Which one was Tina? Was that the Mark's date? No,
The girl that was plowing out the school,
Yeah.
the teacher.
yeah. I would think I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
Although I thought the girl that dressed up as a nurse was hot when she was a nurse. When she was the nurse, she didn't look very good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Tina more when she was that
matinee
in that matinee
yeah.
outfit.
Yeah.
It fit her perfectly, yeah.
Did the score set the mood? Did it really have much of a score?
No, other than what we'll show you at the end of the.
I mean, there
episode.
is a score, but it didn't really seem very noticeable.
Yeah, it was strange. You'll have to watch the movie to understand.
Yeah. What did you think, Wes?
The same thing. I just think it was very weird. Movie, it's just odd. Yeah, you have to see the movie. Actually, it's just a weird movie.
Okay, what was the best song then? Because there was a couple. There was that
Saturday
reggae
Night
band.
at the Movies.
See, I like that, but then I heard that kind of almost heavy metal thing that played at the end during the credits. I'm like, this is actually kind of catchy too.
Well, was that a rap or something that Toby was singing?
It sounded like that. It was kind of weird.
It was like a rap. Toby was singing it.
Yeah, and there was like sound bites from the movie in it.
Yes, you're right.
I kind of like that.
I'm gonna go with, I guess, that. I mean, I didn't really. There wasn't a lot of. It wasn't something that I would go out and buy the soundtrack for. Let's say. So I'll go with that.
Okay, so favorite character?
Oh, Toby.
Yeah, definitely
Come on.
Toby.
Yeah, Toby.
Yeah, Toby was the best. Although poor Mark comes up in a close second just because you feel bad for him for getting his ass kicked
Right.
twice within
Mark
10 minutes.
Mark got the 3 glazes 5.
He gets the Golden Glazer Award.
How
Yeah.
many Glazer seconds does he get out of 5?
I'd say 3.
Oh, he's only 3 seconds?
I'll give him 3.5.
Give him 3.5 seconds.
Well, they didn't show him. They didn't show a sex scene. We can't really, we don't know. You know?
What about on the douche level? Is he full Glazer, half Glazer? What do you think?
No, he
No,
does
he's
not.
not.
He doesn't
He's
even
full-
register on the
Oh,
Glazer
yeah.
scale, but the guy that stole his seat in the theater is full Glazer.
Scumbag, yeah.
I said eat shit.
I like how he's got that nose.
The nose plugs, yeah, when he comes out.
Yeah, he pulls it off his nose. Yeah.
So was it scary?
No, it's humorous.
There's a couple parts. There was a couple
I think
parts.
there's some parts really like I don't know if I'd call it. Yes, it was more humorous overall, I think, but I think there were some parts that were really weird and creepy, like
Yeah.
like some of the dream part is with the head, and this was strange. And like I said, there was parts where he had that long hair. I thought, when she was in the dark with him was kind of.
I feel like if you see that demasking scene in HD, it'll bother me.
Yeah, it might.
That shit's fucking
Yeah,
intense.
I agree. The way overall, no, I would say, yeah.
Okay, does it hold up today?
No.
Yeah, it's a fun movie
Modern
to watch.
horror is a different type of animal.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, but you look at it and like I said, when you see Mark and he's all kind of rapey, and the guy in the theater, it's like it's very 80s.
It's hard to find a movie that does hold up, especially a horror movie.
Yeah.
That was even made in they don't hold up very well long term a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a no on a lot of we do, I think. So I don't think it's any offense to the movie or anything. It's just it just doesn't hold up. The lines are kind of outdated, and it's like you said, it's just it definitely doesn't.
So was the acting good or bad?
Good. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I mean, Toby obviously Like, he went out there and just nailed it. He was
Yeah.
he was over the top in all the right parts. Toby was perfect.
I agree. I think that there were some lines in the beginning that looked really cheesy, and we're like, okay, this looks really silly. Like the way they were talking was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that just goes down to, like you said, it's a little outdated. But I think, like you just said, I think Toby killed it. I mean, he did a really good job. I got to be impressed with his performance from the movie if you watch it. If anything, I would tell people just to watch it for his part.
Yeah.
You know, if I was going to recommend the movie.
I don't know if we can properly cover this next one. Did you like the cinematography? Since we all saw kind of a shitty version of the movie.
We will post something about this.
Yeah.
Once we get the Blu-ray release, we'll share it around between me, Chad, and Wes, and then we'll get back to you guys on that.
So finally,
Yeah.
did you guys like the premise?
Yes.
I thought it was an awesome
Incredible.
premise. Yeah.
Yep, I did too. I like the idea of it.
I
Pretty
think
cool with it.
I think this is a movie that would really benefit with a nice remake.
Yes, I agree. And just to clean it up.
Yeah.
You know, clean up the kills.
And
Clean
don't
up
call
the-
it popcorn, call it Possessor.
Honestly, that's what it should be called. It
Yeah.
should be called.
They
It makes
said
no
that the
sense
only
to call
reason it was
popcorn.
named popcorn, it was I guess it was a gimmick that was taken out of the film.
Yeah,
And then they
I
left it
need to
there.
know what that gimmick was.
And
I'm gonna
apparently it's part of a stream of like films that released in the 90s that had titles that have nothing to do with the actual movies. And I think it's to appeal to a wider audience.
This is, like you said, though, Chad. This is a great someone to pick up and just clean it up.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a perfect candidate for that, and just keep, you know, the idea. Most of the idea.
You know what we could
Either
do?
go
We could
with
get Danny
Toby
McBride
being
and Seth Rogen to
supernatural or
write
not.
the script.
Do not let Danny McBride anywhere near this. If
If
you get Danny McBride and Seth Rogen, I will protest every second they're out there.
He did that
filming.
horrible Halloween movie.
Fuck no.
Oh, that's right. He's in the Halloween.
Danny
haven't seen it
McBride
yet.
wrote Halloween 2018, and it is a fucking
he wrote
atrocity.
it?
He wrote it.
I didn't know that.
Oh yes.
Look, I can tolerate Danny McBride doing comedy, but keep him the hell away from horror.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. He doesn't belong anywhere.
Speaking of
horror.
Danny McBride, I was roasting one of the YouTubers. He goes by the name of Cody Leach. I swear to God, he sounds just like Kenny Powers from Eastbound and Down.
I like Kenny Powers when he makes his own. You know, it's in the first season.
He
where
does his what?
He's makes his own merchandise and he's selling it out of the back of the trailer, and he puts on one of his own masks, or his girlfriend. His girlfriend puts on one of the masks. He goes, "Take that off. You look like a fucked up Michael Myers." He looked like a fucked up when it was like it was the mask is of his head with and he goes, "You look like a fucked up Michael Myers. Take that off." Yeah, that's a great. Eastbound and Down is great.
Oh, he's looking it up. TJ's Googling it.
What's that? The when he does that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look it up. It's hilarious. Yeah, he says something like that. I like when he references Lost Boys too in the second season. He goes, "Who are you? Who are you? The fucking sax player from Lost Boys?"
I never saw the second series. That's great.
The second season. There's a part where there's a guy with, you know, he comes out of the club or whatever, and that's when he tells him, "Who are you? The fucking sax player from Lost Boys?"
That's great.
Which everyone gets. That's a big, you know. Everyone laughs at that part. That's another part in the movie. When we get to that movie, it just needs to be discussed. It makes no sense.
Oh, actually, I think I need to play this instead. I love this part.
So I'm going to pay for a blowjob and I got to pay for a goddamn hotel room too? Well, that just seems like I'm spending too much money for nothing. I got a house. You can just get your ass over here and I can just do the blowjob here. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, this one is done too. You can pick that as well.
Thank you.
Okay. And can I wear the Scream mask? The mask from Scream. When I do you from behind. I love it. Hey, I got to ask you a question, hypothetical. Okay. When you were engaged to get married to Dustin, if somebody else would have asked you out, like, what would you have said?
Well, I was pregnant when Dustin asked me to marry him, so.
Right, yeah. Who's going to want to stick that?
That's such a great show.
Oh,
That show does not They don't. It has no barriers. That show. They,
No, it
make,
does not.
No.
they make fun of everything.
We should put that in the intro. You look like a fucked up Michael Myers.
I love how we just kind of
It's
segue
on
into
there.
fucking
You gotta
Penny
find-
Powers.
Of course we do.
He tries on his own, and he says, "You look like a fucked up Michael Myers."
Okay.
We're going to have to find that clip.
Yes. We'll put it in the intro from now on. Do you guys like the Lost Boys song at the beginning of at our intro?
I do. I like the intro.
That's
That's cool.
That's the Marilyn Manson cover of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know he did a cover.
He did. He released it last year. I saw him perform it live whenever he was with Zombie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. The story about that. I saw the first time. Did you see the first one time they came out, him and Zombie, or the second time?
Second time.
Okay. Well, I saw him the first time, and I've seen Marilyn Manson a couple times prior to that.
Me too.
And I couldn't believe. I was so disappointed and pissed off at Manson because he came out. He was the first act, and he was drunk, and he was rolling all around the stage like an idiot. He just looked like a slob. And Rob Zombie come out and just kicked his ass. Like it's not even close. Like when you go see, like even if you don't like Rob Manson better or whatever, or you don't like Rob Zombie, I recommend to anybody to go see a Rob Zombie concert. That guy puts on a show.
Yes, he does.
And, I mean, that guy's the theatrics that he does. He comes out into the audience. He puts on a show.
If we buy tickets for a Rob Zombie show for me, you, and Wes, can we write that off as morale booster?
It could be a business meeting.
We could. It could be a business meeting. Do you guys want to have a business meeting at the next Rob Zombie concert?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Okay.
By the way, I just want to say about
puts
Rob
on
Zombie.
a show. That guy. I'd love to see him again.
The very first concert I went to was White Zombie and Pantera down in down in Florida, and I have to say, White Zombie opened up, fucking great set, great stage performance, but Pantera blew them out of the fucking water.
Oh, I'm sure.
Really?
Pantera was awesome.
Pantera is awesome.
Like, can you see like a young Chad with the horns up and just fucking?
Oh, it was a great show. Oh man, what a killer show that was! So privileged to say that was my first one, and I got to meet Pantera backstage. Well, I got to meet Rex and Vinny backstage. Dimebag and Phil were just too fucked up. They
You said this on Dewback, didn't you?
Might have.
I think you said this story on Dewback before.
But yeah, it was a killer show. It was so cool meeting him. But yeah.
What year was that? It'd be like 94 or something. 93?
No. It was a little later than that. I'm gonna say 95.
Yeah, I think it had White Zombie was done in 95 or 6, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna say 95 because
they made Astro Creep. Is that
yeah? Because I was 18. It was right before I turned 19. So yeah, it was 95.
Okay. Wow, that's a good concert, man. That's a good line.
Oh, super.
Well, back to our movie. Do we have any more questions?
I've got everything covered here. You guys?
Anything else you want to say, Wes? About
No, I asked.
Oh wait. We got to rate the
questions I
movie.
wanted to know.
We got to rate the movie.
I give it a 2.5 out of 5. Could have been better.
Wes?
I'm gonna go with the same 2.5 out of 5. I think that it's just outdated. It needs to be redone. But like we said, the premise is great. It's just one of those movies that, if redone, could be unbelievable.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was going into this thinking a 3, and then I came out thinking more like a 2.5.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of it that didn't hold up quite as good as I thought it did.
So Gore N More gives Popcorn 1991 2.5 out of 5. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Gore N More. We will be back in 2 weeks with
The Blob.
Oh, are we doing the remake?
We're doing the remake. The 1988 one.
Oh, that's the better one, isn't that?
Yeah, I like it a lot better than the original.
And then after that, we will be starting the Halloween franchise.
We are going balls to the wall with Halloween.
Did you guys ever go to that? Have that thing in that in PA where you run out of the theater from the Blob, the original?
No, but I want to.
What?
You heard of it though? You know what I'm talking about?
I know. I think it's called Blobfest, actually.
Blobfest, right? And hundreds of people. I don't know how no one gets stomped out onto the ground when all those people are running out.
What is it? I've never heard of it.
It's like a festival. It's called Blobfest. I don't know where in PA it is, but It's not that far away from here. I don't think. My dad always like, we got to go.
Yeah,
to Blob
it's
Fest.
somewhere in
I'm like,
mid-state, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
And they actually, believe it or not, still have the original blob prop they used. Like, it didn't deteriorate or anything. They kept it pretty well preserved.
Okay, well,
And then they do original when everyone runs out of the theater when the blob comes on the screen, I think, or whatever happens. I forget. I haven't seen the original in a long time. But they reenact that part, and just every year, everybody, like hundreds of people run out of the theater, like screaming.
We got to look into this. We got to try that out.
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
They have it on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and look at Blobfest, you'll see what it's about, and they'll show all the people running out. It's kind of funny.
That's cool.
We'll do that. Well, that's it for this week's show. We will see you next time. That's TJ Bowser signing off.
Chad Chrisman signing off.
Wes Not Craving Pain.
The Possessor.
Signing off.
Well, Saturday night at 8 o'clock, I know where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick my baby up and take her to the picture show. Everybody in the neighborhood is dressing up to be there too. And we're gonna have a ball just like we always do. Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture you see? When you're hugging with your baby, last row in the balcony. Well, there's Technicolor and the CinemaScope, a cast out of Hollywood, and the popcorn from the candy stand makes it all seem twice as good. There's always lots of pretty girls with figures they don't try to hide, but they never can compare to the girl sitting by my side. Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture you see? When you're in with your baby, last row in the balcony. Saturday night at the movies.